Hey everyone, and welcome to WDIM Plus, where today I'll be breaking down the penultimate episode of Dexter New Blood titled Family Business. This week we are treated to a Dexter Christmas episode that did manage to wrap up one storyline while still leaving plenty of surprises under the tree. We also learned the shocking fate of a character that has been noticeably missing the past few episodes, while also watching Dexter and Harrison continue to develop their relationship, which may be put to the test in the final chapter of this miniseries. But before I get into it, I want to thank you for clicking on this video and ask that you please help support the channel by hitting that like button if you enjoy the content. 2021 was the first year for this channel, and we continue to grow, so thank you very much for your support. Also, you can let me know in the comments what other series you would like to see me cover in 2022. The episode begins with Dexter reliving one of his past kills in Miami at a clown named Mr. Wiggles establishment that holds parties for children. We see that he is telling this to Harrison as he tries to explain how the code that he follows works. It's not surprising that of the many people Dexter has killed, he tells Harrison about a child predator that he has stopped, since those criminals are regarded by most people as the most vile and incomprehensible, and is the one that would provide the least amount of shock and remorse if killed for their crimes. Dexter also explains his dark passenger, and Harrison seems to empathize pretty easily. Throughout the original series, it was made obvious after the death of Rita that Dexter was looking for someone that he could share his dark passenger with. Even before this, he came close with Lila, but for all the wrong reasons, and afterwards in other relationships with characters such as Lumen and Hannah, he still held some back. But still, the ghost of Deb is trying to stop Dexter from revealing himself completely to Harrison. But we see as the episode progresses, the more honest Dexter is with his son, the more connected they both feel to each other. Dexter describes how Harry taught him the code based on his own experiences as a police officer and seeing people slip through the cracks. He explains that the code requires that they must find proof before each kill, which legitimizes the use of his dark passenger as a weapon for good by ridding the world of these people. However, Dexter does not tell Harrison about, as Deb puts it, his sick-ass ritual. This includes taking his own trophy, which is cutting the cheek of his victim and keeping a blood slide. He also does not reveal that he kills these people, only that he confronts them and this stops them from hurting anyone else. Harrison compares Dexter to Batman, and Dexter says that he likes the name The Dark Defender more. The Dark Defender was the title of the 5th episode of the 2nd season of Dexter, in which Dexter learns that there is a comic book character based on him as the Bay Harbor Butcher with the same name. Coincidentally, in that same episode, Lila confided in Dexter about her setting fire to her boyfriend's house and killing him, much like Dexter confides in Harrison in this episode about Mr. Wiggles. It makes sense that Harrison compared Dexter to Batman, since Batman is a superhero that doesn't have any superpowers. But ironically, Batman also has a code, and that includes never killing anyone. So in actuality, you could say that Batman is the polar opposite of Dexter. Harrison is also worried about Kurt, but Dexter thinks that he is far away at this point. After Harrison goes to bed, Dexter returns to the camp and cleans up after his kill last episode. I was worried that Kurt or Angela was going to find the body of Elric Kane, but it seems that Dexter left this for himself as a Christmas present. While taking care of this, Deb continues to mock him, but Dexter does not seem to be listening to her as much as he did when we first met them at the beginning of the miniseries. Angela continues to do research on the Bay Harbor Butcher and finds the needle mark on the victim's necks. Before she can continue, real life gets in the way and the kids open their Christmas presents. We see that Dexter got Harrison a gun, which is a surprise until Dexter states that this is part of him blending in. Even though Dexter did work for the Miami Metro Police Department, he never did carry a gun, so it makes sense that he is not a good shot. Harrison asks about why Kurt came after them, and Dexter tells Harrison that Kurt is a serial killer, although he doesn't have any proof, but that he will be getting close and Kurt knows about it. Dexter does have a plan though, but before he can get to it, they head to Angela's to exchange gifts. The kids are happy, but Angela is very standoffish with Dexter, who doesn't really pay any attention to it. Suddenly, Kurt arrives to break up the party, with everyone confused about why he is there. Kurt obviously did this to show that he isn't scared of Dexter, and even makes a threatening gesture at Harrison. This causes Dexter and Harrison to leave immediately and go after him. Meanwhile, Angela continues to look into Dexter and stops at the local vet. She asks if anyone has ordered ketamine in the past month, and the vet admits that Jim, aka Dexter, did in fact pick some up. Dexter and Harrison look for clues and use the drone that Kurt gave Harrison to do so. When possible, while killing someone on his table, Dexter would use the murder weapon or something else from the person to kill them, such as when he used the same hammer that Arthur Miller used to kill someone else on him. By using the drone that Kurt gave Harrison to find him, they're doing something similar here. While they are looking, Harrison also reveals the truth about the incident with Ethan and that he did in fact cause it. Dexter is not fazed by this because he has already put this together from the blood at the crime scene, but it is a sign that all the walls between Harrison and Dexter are breaking down. Harrison also reveals that the reason he kept his razor is because since he has been 12, he has fantasized about finding the Trinity Killer and killing him with his own razor. Again, this is also similar to Dexter's tradition of using an instrument that the killer used against them. Eventually, the drone finds something, and Dexter plans to go back later in the night. At home, Angela is listening to Molly Park's podcast on the Bay Harbor Butcher. Dexter calls and cancels their plans under the guise of him and Harrison taking a hike to see the blood moon. In case you are wondering, a blood moon occurs when the sun, earth, and moon are almost exactly aligned, and because the moon is illuminated by indirect sunlight, it looks reddish. There are many spiritual beliefs tied to a blood moon, and many state that the blood moon is meant to symbolize endings and clean slates, which in a way is what this Dexter miniseries is supposed to represent, as it was created to not only give the fans a better ending to the original series, but also create a new storyline with Dexter in a brand new situation. Dexter gets his kill kit out of storage and fights with Deb about his next move. Finally, Dexter breaks away from Deb and says that he knows that his current path is the only way. Next, we see Kurt outside Dexter's cabin, dousing it with gasoline. He sets fire to it, hoping to shoot anyone inside as they leave, unaware that Dexter and Harrison have just arrived at his secret bunker. Dexter purposely trips a security wire to make sure that Kurt knows what they are doing. At Kurt's secret bunker, they discover dozens of bodies, one of which unfortunately is Molly Park. She has not been seen for the last few episodes after divulging to Angela the circumstances behind Dexter finding her and Kurt at his cabin. At one point, she stated that she thought she was going to become a story on her own podcast, and sadly that seemed to foreshadow her eventual fate. The walls of Kurt's bunker look very much like a shipping container, and Dexter was born in blood in a shipping container after he witnessed his mother die there. Harrison is disgusted by what Kurt has done and sees there's no other way to stop him than kill him. He gets Dexter to finally reveal that he is a killer and that he killed Mr. Wiggles as well as the Trinity Killer. However, Dexter states that he killed Trinity because of what he did to Harrison's mother, and that isn't exactly true. Rita had already been killed by Trinity by the time that Dexter caught up to them and got him on his table, so actually Dexter was completely unaware that Rita had been killed when he ended Arthur Mitchell's life. Angela is now worried about Molly after not being able to get in touch with her and goes to her hotel room. There she sees that Molly checked out without telling anyone and left behind a recorder which is unlike her. Kurt tries to make her run for it, but Harrison and Dexter together are able to trap him. Dexter continues to explain his process to Harrison while allowing him a chance to leave at each point. Dexter also reveals that he has killed hundreds of people over the years, and Harrison associates this with all the people he saved instead of thinking of the people he killed. They wake up Kurt, who admits to what he has done, which he interprets as saving these women instead of murdering them. This is because of what he saw his father do to multiple runaways over the years, and in Kurt's eyes, he is keeping them from the same trauma of being on the road. While this is crazy nonsense, it is also not true, because Molly Park was not a runaway, and the only reason Kurt killed her was because she was getting close to figuring out what happened with his son, and possibly what he was doing as well. Kurt also tells Harrison that Dexter killed Matt, and that is why Kurt went after him, but Dexter reveals that Matt fit the code after it was revealed at the beginning of the season that Matt was driving a boat while intoxicated that resulted in the deaths of 5 people. Dexter tells Kurt that his son's final words were used to blame him for all of his problems, just like Kurt blames his own dad, and kills Kurt in front of Harrison. The two bag Kurt up and throw him in the same furnace that Dexter also used to dispose of Matt. Dexter tells Harrison that Kurt helped them out by trying to run and leaving evidence, so now everyone will think Kurt just fled town. After they are done, Harrison admits that his dark passenger is quiet, and he thinks the world is a better place after what they have just done. They travel back to the cabin and see that it has been burned down. Audrey is happy to see Harrison alive, but Angela just has questions for Dexter about his whereabouts. Angela agrees to let Harrison and Dexter stay with them, and they go back to her house. There, Angela finds an envelope in her mailbox that states that Dexter killed Matt Caldwell and includes a titanium pin from his leg. Kurt obviously left this before he went after Dexter, and it could be the final nail in the coffin for Dexter with Angela on his tail. As Kurt is already dead, this act is very similar to the circumstances surrounding the death of the Trinity Killer. There, Dexter thought that after he killed Trinity that his problems were solved, only to learn that the Trinity Killer had irreparably changed his life beforehand by killing Rita. Kurt may have done the same thing with Dexter here, if now Angela can prove Dexter is a killer with this evidence. Well, that was everything I saw, but let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit that like button if you have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?